Hello everybody, how are students? Today we are going to answer the basic geographical questions that prepared based on contour maps. This contour map is more important for your preparation. So don't forget to stay with Wabi 17 official tube. Under this video, you are going to acquire basic skills of map reading in the form of entrance exam questions. Before going to ask questions about this contour map, it is better to understand the real visualization of this contour map. This contour map is on Earth. It seems like this one. Okay, so based on this contour map, you are going to answer questions for this video. Barattoota har'a video kana keessatti beekumsa bu'uuraa dubbisa kaartaa irratti hundaa'ee gaaffii bara baraan intiraansii keessan irratti dhufuuf contour map kana irratti xiyyeeffadhee qabadhee isiniif dhiyaadheera. Question number 1. Which of the following points is not intervisible? Tuqaawwan armaan gaditti kennaman keessaa tuqaawwan waliif hin mul'anne wal arguu hin dandeenye kami? A, D and B, B, H and R, C, H and F, D, E and J. H, R, H, F, D and B, E and J are these, which are the circled one. Okay, warra itti marame kanadha. Gaaffiin amma isin gaafatamtan tuqaawwan kana. Kanaaf tuqaawwan kana keessa kan wal arguu hin dandeenye kamii isiniin jedha jechuudha. Kanaaf waa'ee intervisibility gaafan isiniif ibsu intervisibility jiraachuudhaaf gidduuwwan tuqaa lamaanii lafti jiru tokkoffaa convexy ta'uu qaba. Gadi bu'aa ta'uu qaba jechuudha. Vaalii sulula ta'uu yoo danda'e wal argaan jira. Lafa diriiraa yoo ta'e wal argaan jira. Konkeeviidha yoo ta'e garuu wal argaan hin jiraatu. Konkeeviidha jechuun maal jechuudha? Asirraa yoon isin agarsiise konkeeviidha jechuun yoo lafti gidduu tuqaawwan H fi R gidduu jiru akka kana yoo ta'e wal arguun hin danda'amu. Faallaa isaatiin garuu taa'umsi lafaa tuqaawwan lamaan gidduu jiru akka kanaa yoo ta'e yookiin akka kanaa yoo ta'e yookiin immoo asirraan akkas yoo ta'e tuqaawwan baa fi daan wal arguu danda'u jechuudha. Akkasumas tuqaawwan raa fi efin wal arguu danda'u jechuudha. Bosonni gidduu isaanii yoo jiraate, gaarreen yoo jiraatan garuu wal argaan isaanii hin jiraatu. Good. Kana irratti hundaa'uudhaan iddoon wal argaan hin jiraanne isa kami? Between point D and B are found on the same slope. And there is no high ridge that block visibility. So, D and B are intervisible to each other. H and R are on an open slope. The line of sight is clear, which means there is intervisibility between H and R. C, H and F. Between these points, there is high ridge, which is about 3,400 meters. Which blocks the line of sight between H and F. So, there is no intervisibility between H and F. Kana jechuun maal jechuudha? Kuno H fi F gidduu lafti ol ka'aa ta'ee hin jira. Kuni wal argaa isaanii dhoksaa jechuudha. So, they are not intervisible to each other. D, E and J lies on the same eastern slope. So, there is no obstruction between 2 points. C is the correct answer where intervisibility is not found. Question number 2. In which direction do the main rivers shown on the map flow? Lagni contour map irratti agarsiifame kallattii kamii gara kamitti yaa'aa? Taa'umsi lafaa ol ka'aan contour map kanarra jiru 3,400. Kunis qubee aatiin kan ibsame kanaa jechuudha. Kaartaan keenya kan inni dubbifamu kallattiin kaabaa eessaa, kallattiin kibbaa eessaa kan jedhuudhaaf garri ammaan itti deemaa jiru kuni gara kibbaati. Kanaaf taa'umsi lafaa gara kibbaatti yeroo deemnu dabalaa deema. Haga 3,400 geenyutti jechuudha. Laggeen uumamaan gaarreen irraa gara lafa dakeetti yaa'u. Kanaaf lagni keenya as kibba irraa gara kaabaatti yaa'a jechuudha. Filannoo nuu kenname dhaqnee waliin haa ilaallu. A. North to south. B. East to west. C. South to north. D. West to east. The answer is south to north because north to south requires higher ground in the north, but the highest relief is found in south. So A is not the answer. East to west says B. Contour gradient does not indicate such flow. So B is not the answer. C says south to north. Yes, south is 3,400 meter highland, while north is 2,200 meter lowland. As a result, rivers flow downhill northwards. So C is the correct answer. Question number 3. Which type of drainage pattern is represented by the rivers on the map? Drainage pattern in contour map irratti agarsiifame kami? A. Radial drainage pattern. B. Dendritic drainage pattern. C. Trellis drainage pattern. D. Parallel drainage pattern. What is the term radial, trellis, dendritic, and parallel? It is better to discuss well. Isaan kana nansiniif ibsa. Kanaaf hanga dhumaatti na wajjin ta'uun hojii keessan haa ta'u. The answer is dendritic drainage pattern. The river flows from south to north. It has branches on E. Again, there is branch here that raises. Here again, there is a branch. Dendritic means drainage like a tree. The rivers on the map branch regularly like tree roots, with many tributaries that joining at acute angles. This is classic dendritic drainage. So, B is the answer. When is the dendritic drainage pattern occur? The dendritic drainage pattern occurs on a uniform rock structure with no strong geological controls, while radial drainage pattern is found on volcanic cones where rivers flows outward in all direction from central peak. This is not shown on this map. Trellis is formed when streams run parallel with short tributaries and joining at right angles. This is common in folded landscape, but is not indicated on this contour map. Parallel drainage pattern forms when streams run almost straight in one direction due to a steep slope or elongated landform. Question number 4. The point shown as E on the map is an example of where is E? E is here. This one is E. Okay, let me go to a choice. A. Tributary. B. Confluence. C. Delta. D. Estuary. Tributary is a smaller river that joining a larger one. But here the map highlights the meeting point itself. A is not the answer. Delta. This is found at a river mouth in lakes or seas, not in inland. D. Estuary says river mouth with tidal influence. This is not relevant to this upland area. So, confluence is clearly where two rivers are meeting each other. As a result, E, the tributary, meets the main river, which is known as confluence. Question number 5. The map distance between H and R is 5 centimeters. What is the crow flight distance of a map? A. 10 kilometers. B. 2 kilometer. C 100 kilometer. D 1 kilometer. Ground distance is equals to map distance times scale of a map over 100,000. From this, 5 centimeter is given, which is map distance times the scale of a map is 200,000 over 100,000, which comes 10 kilometer. So 10 kilometer is the answer. If 1 centimeter is equals to 2 kilometer, 5 centimeter times 2 is equals to 10 in other ways. Question number 6. The peak of the mountain shown on the map is indicated by A, point C, B, point A, C, point K, D, point G. This means the highest point of the contour map is 3,400. 3,400 meter on the contour map is represented by A. So the correct answer for this question is B. Okay, closed contours at 3,400 meter indicates highest point at A. You can refer from the map. Maapicha duubatti deebitanii ilaaluu dandeessu. 3,400 irratti kenname. Kanaaf mataan yookiin gaarri kontur maappii kanarratti agarsiifame point A dha jechuudha. C is spur, not peak. Point K is river source. Again, it is not peak. Okay. Point G is river valley. Why? Because it is lower elevation. Question number 7. Which point lies in a valley? Sulula keessatti kan argamu pointii kami? A, point F. B, point G. C, point A. D, point D. Point G is found in valley, but point F is cliffy slope, not valley. Point A is peak, while point D is on a ridge. So G is located in a depression with river channel that is found in a valley. As a result, B is the correct answer. Question number 8. Most suitable area for settlement is indicated by A, point A, B, near E, C, point F, D, point C. Qubannaa ilmaan namootaadhaaf mijataa kan ta'e kamidhaadha. Near E, flat fertile confluence is found. Why? Because there is available water supply and also the soil becomes fertile. Why? Because it is transported by rivers. Alluvial soils commonly found in this region. So E is suitable for settlement. As a result, B is the correct answer. Point A is high peak. Steep is inaccessible. Why? Because there is erosion. Okay. Point F is steep slope. This is again prone to erosion. Point C is narrow ridge, which is unstable. Question number 9. Contour interval of the map is A, 50 meter, B, 100 meter, C, 200 meter, D, 500 meter. Contour interval in contour maappii keenya meeqa? Contour interval jechuun garaagarummaan fageenya tuqaawwanii meetira meeqa meeqaanidha jechuudha. Kanaaf kaartichatti deebitanii yoo ilaaltanii 3,400 jedhee 3,200, 3,000, 2,800, 2,600, 2,400, 2,200 jecha xiqqaachaa deema. So garaagarummaan isaanii 200 jechuudha. As a result, C is the correct answer. Here, question number 10. Which feature is shown at point A? A, saddle. B, depression. C, peak. D, valley. Irra deddeebiidhaan gaaffii kana karaa tokkos ta'e karaa biraa gaggaafatamtaniittu. Kanaaf deebii kan ta'u kami? Okay. Point A is indicated by peak. C is the correct answer. The peak of the contour map is 3,400, which is represented by point A. Question number 11. Which slope is the gentler? A, between D and R. B, near A. C, near F. D, near H. Gentle slope jechuun maal jechuudha? Lafa diriiraa jechuudha. The answer. Widely spaced contours are gentler. This is found between D and R. You can go to check from the map. Maappii sanarraa duubatti deebitanii ilaaluudhaan mirkaneeffachuu dandeessu. Iddoowwan contour laayinoonni walirraa fagaatanii jiran gentilii yookiin lafa bal'aa jedha. Kun immoo qubee daa fi qubee raa gidduu irratti argama. Near A is summit area. Slopes are moderate, while near F is steepest slope. So C is also not the answer. Point H is medium slope, not gentler. A is the correct answer. Which point shows a river mouth? A, point E. B, point G. C, point A. D, point H. Mouth jechuun maal jechuudha? Mataan laga sanaa fi garbi sun yookiin galaanni sun yookiin haroon sun itti wal tuqu jechuudha. The end point of the river is known as mouth. G is where river leaves mapped area at lower elevation. B is the correct answer. Point E is a junction, not a mouth, while point A is a peak, and also point D is ridge. The river mouth is shown with point G. Question number 13. Which area would have fertile soils on the map? A, at E. B, at A. C, at F. D, at C. Egaa ajaa'ibadha barattoota. Intiraansiin haalli itti gaafatamu haala kanaan ta'uu danda'a. Kontur maappii nuuf kenname irratti biyyoon gabbataan naannoo kamitti argamaa jedhee kan nu gaafatu jiraachuu malaa jechuudha. So biyyoo gabbataan yoomiyyuu kan argamu naannoo bishaan lolaa baatee deemuu danda'uu fi fidee buusuu danda'udha. So alluvial deposition at a confluence is most commonly known as a fertile soil. Iddoo itti bishaan guddaa fi bishaan yaatuun wal mudatan dalaliin ni jiraata. Dalaliin immoo fertile yookiin gabbataadha. So at point E. Peak has shallow rocky soil. Steep slope soil is eroded and spur soils are thin. Point C is spur. So soils are thin. Question number 14. Which point lies on a saddle? What is saddle? Saddle is a low-lying land between two highlands. Okay. A between A and D. B between F and H. C between G and J. D between E and R. The answer between A and D is said to be saddle because it is a low pass between peaks, while B between F and H is a steep slope. Between G and J is valley, and also between E and R is low slope. Question number 15. Which area is most prone to erosion? Ikaman biyyeedhaaf saaxilamaa kan ta'e naannoo kami? A, around point F. B, around point A. C, around point R. D, around point D. Around point F, steep slope is known with severe erosion. So F is steeper. It is vulnerable to erosion. So A is the correct answer.